Hello everybody, welcome back to another Rockabilly guitar lesson, and today I'll show you how to play Rock Crazy Baby by Art Adams, arguably one of the best ever Rockabilly records. It was released in 1959 on Cherry Records, and I have to say a big thank you to Art Adams himself, who helped me gathering the session details here for this lesson. He just turned 85 last week, still performing, still going strong, so one more time, happy birthday Art Adams, and thank you so much for your help and also for your great music. Definitely enriched my life a lot. So there are 4 guitar players here on this recording. We have 2 rhythm players, Art Adams himself, and also a guy called Ray Gadbury played second rhythm guitar. And then we have 2 lead guitar players. Roy Robinette played a Fender Telecaster, played the intro, the first solo, and also the second part of the second solo. And then we have another guy by the name of Eddie Whale who played Gretsch 6120. And he played the first part of the second solo. So there you have it, 4 guitar players, and I think that's what makes this record great, along with the singing, the slap bass, and of course the fantastic drums. Most versions you find nowadays on compilations or on YouTube are in the key of B flat, and they're sped up. So Art told me that originally it was recorded in the key of A, so this is how I teach it to you as well. Right now here on YouTube I'll show you how to play the intro and also the first solo. And if you want to learn both parts of the second solo as well, have access to the jam tracks and tabs, you can go to my web shop at shop.randyrich.de. The link is in the description below. Or you can join me on Patreon. Yeah, we are 48 right now, so if you join me on Patreon, you will receive weekly Rockabilly guitar lessons with jam tracks and tabs, and also exclusive offers, and you can join the monthly live stream as well. There it is, monthly. So as a little incentive, I want to make it 50 very soon. Everybody who joins me on Patreon until February 23rd will receive this Sun and Lightning EP. So if you love Sun records, and who doesn't, then you'll enjoy this one as well. So check out the link in the description below. But right now, let's get to the lesson. I'll show you how to play the intro and the first solo of Rock Crazy Baby by Art Adams. Rock Crazy Baby is in the key of A, and the intro starts like this. So you start on the D string, 2nd fret, and then you hammer on to 4 and to 5. And you want to start on 3N, 1 and 2 and 3, like this. And then in the next bar you play, so starting here on the G string, 2nd fret, then to 4 on the D string, and the last note in this bar is the open B string. Yeah? And then in the next bar you play, again starting on the G string, 2nd fret, then to 4 on the D string, 2, 4, 2, again on the D string, and then you finish the phrase with a hammer on from 3 to 4 on the A string. Now we put everything together, and what we got so far is this. 1 and 2 and 3. Then the next part. A boogie run starting on the A string, open A. Hammer on from 3 to 4. 2 on the D string. Then 4 on the D string and the open G string. Yeah? And then in the next bar, the A here on the G string, 2nd fret, twice, to 4 on the D string, and back to 2. Let's put everything together what we got so far, starting on 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then the next part starts with a bending and goes like this. Let's stop there. So bending is a half step on the 4th fret D string. Then you play the open G string, and then 2nd fret twice, 4 on the D string to 2 on the G string. So it sounds like this. And then the next part. Back and forth between 2nd fret G string and 4 on the D string. Then the G string 3 times. Hammer on from 4 to 5 on the D string. Open A string. And 4th fret D string again. This is the second part. Let's play this together. And then the chord progression moves to E, and you play. The E here on the D string, 2nd fret, 3 times. And then you slide from 4 to 5 to 6. Like this. And then I use index and ring finger from the 4th to the 6th fret, back to 4. And then I skip with my index to the 5th fret, B string, to finish this phrase here. And the next part. Starts on the 7th and 8th fret, B and E string. Then to the 5th fret, which is covered by the index, E and B string again. 7 and 8 again. 5th fret twice. And then it's 7 to 5, B to E string. And then in the next bar, starting with a bending on the 8th fret, to 5 on the B string, 7, and 5 on the B string. Let me play you this whole phrase again. Next part. Starts with a slide into the 5th fret B and G string, and you can have the index flat on all 3 strings. That's the best, I think. So to play, first it's just the B and the G string, and then it's more likely that he plays the E and B string here. And again B and G string, and the second time, very similar phrase, but this time you go earlier to the E and B string. So this whole part here. And then the next run. Starting on the G string, 2nd fret. To 4 on the D string, open G, 2nd fret. And again 4th on the D string. And then the next part starts on the D string, 2nd fret, 3 times. Then a pull off from 3 to 2 on the A string, open A string, and 2nd fret E string. Now this whole part here, the 2 bars. And then the last run starts on the open A string, hammer on from 3 to 4, 2nd fret, 4, open G string, 2nd fret, and then 4 to 2, D to G string. Now I'll play the whole intro at 110 beats per minute, which is almost half the speed of the original. 1, 2, 3. Here's the first solo from Rock Crazy Baby. It starts like this. And this is right after he sings "Rockin' Everywhere." So you start on the 5th fret, E and B string, then 7 on the B string, to 5 on the E string, which is still covered by the index, yeah? Then the second bar, again, the top 2 strings, 5th fret, 7 on the B string, 5, E and B string, and then at the end of this bar you play 7 and 8, B and E string, and you hold out this note here. That was the second bar. And now I put it all together from the top and starting on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then you stay here on 7 and 8 and play. So it's 7 times, 7 and 8, and then you go to 6 and 7 and slide back into the original chord. Yeah? And at the end you play the 5th fret on the E and B string. And that leads into the next phrase. And even though you play all 8th notes, you can still create a rhythm with dynamics. Yeah? So it doesn't have to sound like... you can do like this. I think that's what he does. But he plays the 7th and 8th fret at all times here. Then the next phrase. 5th fret again. And then 7 to 5, just like in the first bar of the solo. And then that's the end of the phrase in the next bar. And then the next phrase starts right after that. Starting on 3 and 8th fret, and you give it a little bending here. 2, 5, 8 again, 7 to 5, 7 on the B string, 5 on the E string, back to 8, 5 to 7, and then 3 times the 5th fret on the E string. Let's put it all together. And I do a count in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the next phrase Starts with a slide on the B string 7 to 9, and then you play 7 on the E string and 9 on the B string. Then you slide back to 7 and 5, B and E string, and you pick the notes twice. Then the next part. Fifth fret, top 2 strings. Then you play 8 again on the high E string with a bending, half step bending, to 5, 8 again, twice, 7 to 5, 7 on the B string and 5 on the E string. That's just like we had before. Yeah? But then you go to the B string and play 8 to 5, 7, and 3 times the 5th fret again. So very similar to the phrase we had before, in the row before. So let me play this long phrase, 3 bars. And everything we got so far in the first solo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And the last part of the first solo should sound familiar to you because you've played this part already in the intro with 2 minor changes. It sounds like this. So the first bar is just exactly like the intro. The next bar has the 2 minor changes. You stay on the B and G string, and at the end you play the open B string. That gives you time to get to the next run. Which is again the same as in the intro. One more time, the last part. And here's a whole first solo from Rock Crazy Baby at 110 beats per minute. Rockin' everywhere,